What is up, everybody? Welcome back to, I don't even know what episode of the official WPBL podcast. My name is Ashton Lansdell. I am your host. And working behind scenes, our voice of God is Toronto Mike. Mike, how you doing back there, buddy?
I'm good, Ashton. I can confirm for you this is episode 6 of the WPBL podcast.
Oh, boy. How did we get here so fast?
I don't know, but I'm looking at you and you've got this cool pair of shades on your head there.
Yeah, you know.
They remind me of Macho Man Randy Savage. Like you should wear them.
I can be a little Randy Savage for this episode. That's fine. Can
well,
rock
Ashton,
the whole episode.
You know that Randy Savage, before he became a WWF superstar, he was an aspiring baseball player.
I did not know that, actually.
Like, I believe, somebody will Google this and tell me I've got some facts wrong, but I believe he played minor league ball for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Wow. I mean, you know what they say, baseball produces the best athletes.
So, yeah.
The greatest athletes are baseball players or have probably played baseball at some point in their life. And I will die on that hill for sure.
How's it been going for you? You know, we haven't talked in a week. Give me an update on what's going on with Ashton.
It's been good. It's been good. We had that off week the week prior to when we last talked. And then we finally got back into banana ball practices and everything. And then last weekend we were in, where were we? Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque is like our second hometown for the Party Animals. We've played there 3 times now, and the people out there were awesome. We had a great time. We actually, unfortunately, lost both games and got kind of kicked out of this tournament that's happening this weekend. So we're kind of off this weekend again and getting our stuff together and doing what we got to do to get back to where we need to be for the team. But it was a good weekend. We still had a great time in New Mexico, and we're just going to practice hard this week and, you know, get all of our ducks in a row. And then we have 3 big weekends coming up after this weekend. We go to New York City and we're playing in Yankee Stadium. And then we go to Las Vegas, which is going to be huge for us. And then right after that, we go to Atlanta, which is my hometown. We're playing in Truist Park, which the Party Animals will be headlining. So we got a lot of cool and fun stuff coming up soon.
Okay, I heard you say the Party Animals are playing at Yankee Stadium, and it's worth pointing out that just last week on this very podcast, we had on the commissioner of the WPBL, Justine Siegel. And do you remember she gave us an exclusive? Yeah,
she gave us a little tidbit. Something was happening at Yankee Stadium that neither of us heard about.
Yeah, so do you have the deets? What went down at Yankee Stadium last weekend?
I do. So right after we heard about that, I saw on Instagram and all over WPBL that our girls, Nikki Eckert, Sabrina Robinson, Lexi Hastings, and Alexia George, they were invited to the New York Yankees Stadium to take BP, fly balls, ground balls, and even have a Q&A with the ex-Yankee legend, Bucky Dent. And honestly, I mean, I was getting some FOMO. It looked like a great time. They were hitting with wood bats, taking BP in the new Yankee Stadium and everything. It looked like a great time. And, you know, like I've said before multiple times, I'm just the support and representation and love from MLB and other MLB teams in these cities is so huge for us. And, you know, the fact that we can just be on that same stage, whether it's pregame, postgame, during an MLB game, whatever it may be, that the fact that we can share the same stage in general is absolutely amazing. And like I said, I got some FOMO from those girls this last weekend. They looked like they had a great time.
Amazing. You know, Boston Red Sox fans have a different name for Bucky Dent.
I did not know that. What is it?
I can't say it on this family-friendly podcast.
All right, everyone go Google it. I'll have to Google it too, I guess.
So that Yankees Stadium activity with the WPBL, that's pretty awesome. But I got a little clip for you. You know, the last couple of episodes of this podcast, I brought some audio. So you buckled up.
Let me hear it.
All right. Here's a little audio. Yeah, it's like show and tell. Believe it or not, Ashton, before I press play, let me just set it up by saying, this is Kelly Clarkson, okay? The Kelly Clarkson. You listening? Here we go.
Oh, I'm listening.
When I was 13, I tried out for my high school team, baseball team, and there was 3 rounds of cuts, and I made it through the first 2 rounds. On the last day, they invited me into the room, and they said, you're good enough to play middle infield, but we just can't have you on the team. And I knew what that meant. So as a 13-year-old girl, I wasn't about to stand there and argue with 3 grown men.
Yeah.
So I stood up, I thanked them for the opportunity, and I walked out. When I got home, I was so upset. I was so tired of fighting, so tired of like trying to prove myself on the field, and I almost quit. And luckily that summer, I was introduced to New York Girls Baseball and Baseball for All, which gave me the opportunity to keep playing baseball outside of school where I was cut.
So. Yeah. Their loss. Definitely their loss. Now you're playing first base for the pro team in Boston.
Yes.
That's the coolest thing, man, about being a part of sports. I always tell my kids, too, is like, look, mommy didn't end up being an athlete, but it's like, it's such a great thing socially, like to learn how to work as a team.
Yeah.
Those, relationships you can maybe have possibly for the rest of your life. You learn a lot about yourself and confidence. There's so much else that goes into it if you're wanting to do it professionally or not.
So that's a clip from the Kelly Clarkson show. And that, of course, was Sabrina Robinson from the Boston WPBL team. And that's a very, very big venue. That's a huge deal.
That is a huge deal. And Sabrina, I mean, I didn't even know that story about her. I've known her for quite a few years now. And I mean, just hearing that story, it kind of like, it breaks her heart a little bit, but also it's kind of like a blessing in disguise, because then that led her to Baseball for All, what Justine was talking about, what the nonprofit she created through herself and for girls in baseball. And then Sabrina gets involved with Baseball for All. And then it was just a snowball effect from there. And now she's a professional baseball player for Boston. So, I mean, it's just crazy how things work out sometimes, isn't it?
It is wild, because we did have Justine Siegel on last week and talked about Baseball for All. And then the very next week, I guess Kelly Clarkson was listening to our podcast.
Yeah, her ears must have been ringing a little bit.
But before we welcome our exciting guest this week, I need to ask you, how many episodes into this podcast will we be before you get a Boston player on this show?
I don't know, maybe like 7.
Because I'm going to just, propose to you, Ashton, that maybe, if you're into it, maybe we get Sabrina Robinson on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, she just had a great interview with the Kelly Clarkson. So, I mean, let's hope that she'll be open to jumping on our podcast. She's all big time out here in New York City and everything. So,
well, let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, you're the Kelly Clarkson of the WPBL podcast.
I love that for me. You hear that, Kelly Clarkson? We're going to have to get you on this podcast now, too. We'll have to go shoulder to shoulder.
And who do we have this week? I can't wait to sit back and listen to another great convo.
Yeah, so this week, this is one of my best friends I've made through baseball. Her name is Meggie Meidlinger. Say, hey, Maggie.
Hey, everyone. Hey, what up, Ashton?
How you doing, Maggie? I haven't seen you in so long.
I'm doing great. It's always great to see you, buddy.
Good. It's always great to see you, too. So for you guys that don't know, I'm sure a lot of people don't know this, but a fun fact between me and Maggie is that all these years across, being a female in baseball and all these leagues that you and I have both been in all over the world, Team USA, 20 girls on the team from all over the country, right? California, New York, Texas, Florida, Georgia, whatever. We made Team USA and everything my very first year. I'm looking for other females to train with. And I'm like, dang, how am I going to be able to train with my USA teammates? Like, they're literally nowhere near me. Little did I ever know and would ever be able to guess, Maggie lives literally 5 minutes down the road from
Less
me
than a
in
mile.
Marriott. Like, literally, I could walk through her front door. Yes. So ever since, what year was that? 2018, probably, maybe before.
Over 8 years ago now.
Yeah, we've been throwing partners. We've been training buddies for years and years and years. And then I just had to up and leave you to go to Savannah, Georgia,
Of course.
unfortunately.
Yeah, on the big things, Ashton. Always proud of you.
I know. It was super heartbreaking. I miss you throwing, partner. How are you doing over there?
I'm doing great.
You're doing good?
Number 76, play like a champion, no excuses.
That's right.
As Ashton, I just cherish all of our times at the field. We train multiple times a week together, and I just have always loved our time together on the field, Ash.
Me too. And I miss it so much. But in the future, the very near future now, we're on the same team. So you want to be my throwing partner this coming season?
I would love to. I thought you'd never ask.
Yes. Sorry to everyone else on the team. I got dibs on Maggie. Sweet. Yeah, we do. I know your routine. Like I'm kind of more go with the flow, whatever, but you have a structured, specific routine because, these pitchers, they do some weird stuff.
What are you going to do?
Make sure. Those dang POs, man, I swear. But I do know your routine like the back of my hand. So We'll just stick
I
with
love it. I cherish that.
Good. Well, give the viewers a little bit of background about Maggie. Give me your position, your journey through baseball, and just let the people know, who is Maggie?
Yeah. Wow. Great question. I started playing baseball when I was 4 or 5, like similar to the age that you started playing baseball, all simply because all the neighborhood kids were playing baseball and I wanted to play too. So my parents signed me up for Little League, played Little League, had great coaches, had great teammates. I got to high school, and granted, for the viewers, Ashton and I are a little bit different in age. So
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And so I grew up in a time before social media, knowing that other girls were playing baseball. So growing up with the guys, I wanted to play high school baseball. I tried out. I made the high school team, and I didn't find out about Team USA and the women's national team and women's baseball till the end of my high school journey. So I was about 17, 18 years old when I found out about women's baseball. I pitched a perfect game in high school. So there was an article about me that Julie Croto, the head coach of Team USA back in 2006. Yes, I first started playing on the national team in 2006. Reached out to me to tell me about the U.S. national team. And I had no idea. I was thrilled. So first started playing on the national team in 2006. Played on and off since then. And now here we are. Dreams are becoming a reality with the WPBL. So thrilled about it.
Yeah, isn't it so crazy how life just works out sometimes? I mean, we were just talking about that a minute ago with Sabrina and everything. Like, everything just happens for a reason, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. You never know where life's going to take you. And it's always cool, the stepping blocks and looking back on the journey on how you get to certain places.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you, out of all people, you cherish a lot of special moments, and you're probably one of the most positive people I've ever met on the field, off the field, just in life in general. What kind of makes you have that mindset? Is it just you as a person? Have you learned that throughout your career, maybe on or off the field?
Yeah, I mean, I would say a few things with that, Ashton. I mean, my joy comes from Jesus Christ and my relationship with him. And, this is baseball. It's a game. It should be fun, right? And there have definitely been moments in my career where maybe I put all of my identity or things on how I performed on the field, and it was stressful and it was anxious. And then there's just a time when in my career where it just became joyful, like all those little things. Like, I mean, you and I are on the field all the time together, and it's like those little things of like getting to play catch with Ashton and like, hey, we're going to work on your hitting. You're going to help me with my pitching. We're going to get our work in. And, knowing that, my identity and worth is not in the field. And it's just so much like, give me those high pressure moments. Like you said, like I'm the closer on Team USA. Give me those high pressure moments. Like those are the moments we train for, right? Like you and I are at the field all the time, waiting for those moments of those big high pressure moments. The whole game's on the line, the gold medal's on the line. Give us those moments. And, so when those moments do come, it's like, you know what, we've trained, we've prepared for this. This is fun. Like, bring it on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you, out of all people, like you practice how you play, and you set the scene in your head. And so I'm gonna set a visual for you guys. Like when I'm catching Maggie's bullpen, right? I'm in full gear, like everything, shin guards, chest protector, not a max because, I'm cool like that, whatever. Anyways, all provided, by the way, by Maggie, because, she's just like that. And, she takes care of the people who take care of her. So I'm out there. I'm more than happy always to catch a bullpen of Maggie. Anyways, I'm catching this bullpen, and she's literally like setting the scene. Like, okay, Game 7, Team USA versus Japan. We'll name a Japan player who's up in the box, and we're like, okay, runners on second and third. What do we have to do here? Like, you create a scene, and literally just in a bullpen when there's no one at the field. And honestly, I think it's really beautiful and inspiring in a way, because it's so easy to kind of just go through the motions and practice and, just go with the flow and yada, yada, yada. But you take your time on the field so seriously, because I think you just understand that you don't get these moments every single day like other baseball athletes do. And I just love how you cherish and take those moments seriously, whether it's practice, in the weight room, on the field, even probably just walking down the street. You're you just have that mindset, and I really respect it.
Well, I know a lot of people might not know that, but there was a time where I thought my baseball career was done, like between 2010,
Really?
2014, 15. And like that was, I mean, this part of the story, like when I moved to Uganda, and I thought my playing days were over, and it's like I'd play in other tournaments. And it was actually Malika Underwood who got me to come back out. And so like talking about the joy earlier, it's like that whole second half, like it's just been nothing but joy, and you can't take any moment for granted. And that's what I always try to tell the younger players. It's like, you never know what could happen. You never know an injury or just life circumstances, anything. And so like this game is so fun, and the opportunities that it's created for you, for me, never taking a single one of those moments for granted, even those little things of our bullpen sessions, I cherish. But any opportunity to have USA across your chest, to get to have LA, across your chest, and playing for the WPBL, moments to get to coach the younger girls up and coming and playing. I love, and I try to never take any of those moments for granted.
I absolutely love that so much, because like I said, it's just easy to almost forget why you started or where you came from, because you're here in the moment, and everyone says the present moment is, what you should cherish most. But it's like still having that in the back of your mind, why you started this and why you're still doing this, because you could have given up on baseball however many years ago, and here you are now. You can call yourself a professional baseball player. How does that feel?
I mean, so Ashton, fun little story. This past weekend, I got to give the keynote speech at my hometown's Little League opening day, which was just special.
I did see that. I'm happy you're breaking this up. Please unpack all of that.
And I mean, just stepping foot on, like, as soon as like we were going through the gates, and my parents are awesome. I was with my parents. Like I just started getting teary eyed, because it's like all those opportunities that, I know not everybody has the same story, but like the doors that Lower Loudon Little League opened for me, that then led to high school ball, which then led to USA, WPBL, these opportunities with MLB. You just never know what doors can open for you. And it was just taking me back, like you were talking about, like your Little League self, like why you started all this to begin with. And honestly, Ashton, as soon as walking through those gates, it's like it all came flooding back of like, oh, I remember like first learning a curveball grip over there in that bullpen, and like playing wall ball with my teammates while we were waiting for our dads to finish talking. It's like, it's those little moments of you fell in love with.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, we really made it this far. And it's crazy how deeply you could fall in love with a sport. And whether you're playing that professionally for the rest of your life, or you only get to play that sport for a few years, you still fall in love with it at the end of the day. And, it builds some character for you as a person. You take that with you forever and ever and ever, I feel like.
Absolutely. And into all aspects of life. I mean, there's so many things I've learned on the baseball field that I put into, my architecture career now too. I mean, it's all translatable on and on.
So let's actually get into this, because you're one of the first guests I've had on here who almost lives like a double life. You are an architect by day and a professional baseball player by night. What is that like? I mean, I can't even imagine. I've seen you have to step away from things for meetings, and you're like always on call, and you have to schedule around work, and like you literally have a 9-to-5 job, probably even longer than 9 to 5 on some days, Like I've seen you work so hard in your actual job, but also you are 110% on the field too. What is it like living almost like a double life?
Thanks for saying that, Ashton. If things bring me joy, right? Like you make them work. And ever since I was in the second grade, I wanted to be an architect, and I wanted to be a professional baseball player.
I didn't know that. Look at you living out your own dream. I just love that so much for you.
So, and I'm not going to lie, it is hard balancing both. I mean, my career is very demanding. I get the privilege of, I do sports architecture. So we do stadiums, arenas, ballparks, and so for me, getting to combine that passion of architecture and that passion of sports, I mean, it's really something special there. And like I said, everything translating, we're a team on the field. I work with a team in our designs. And I love my teammates on the field and in my profession. and it is hard. It is balancing, and there are sacrifices to be made. It's early mornings or late nights with work, or early mornings at the gym, and finding time. But like, no excuses. Like, got to get both in. We have deadlines and got to get the training in. So all spare time is given usually to one or the other. But they both bring me so much joy, and I'm passionate about both. So, and I have great teammates on both the professional side. Well, both professional sides.
Yeah, right. That is so amazing. I mean, you could pretty much, I think, also, like, in just baseball in general, specifically women's baseball, you could also call yourself like a veteran in our game. How would you bring, the mindset that you have had these many years, from high school through Team USA through now professional baseball, and even coming from architecture and having to work with those people in such a professional setting? What do you feel like you can provide from your unique just career and personality? And how do you feel that you could help out these also new professional baseball players who are probably many years younger than you?
Yeah, great question, Ashton. I would say relationships, right? Relationships and finding joy in the little things. We play a team sport, right? Everybody has their roles. We all have to contribute. Now, there are certain moments, but you got to pick up your team members, and everybody has to work really hard to play their part, right? And not to let your teammates down. You got to put in the time and the effort. I mean, that's the same professionally. It's line. Everybody's got to push really hard to get their stuff done and talk and coordinate, right? Same with talking on the field. And it's like, you and I work so well together. It's like, my nuances with pitching, that like, I can hear your voice on the field. It's like, okay, Ashton, like that one little cue, and like, we know what each other
what to do
on the yes. But like, again, finding the passion, right? Like, this game is so incredible, and it's given us so much. It's so many sisters in baseball, right? And our brothers in baseball too. We've had great teammates, male and female, relationships too, right? And same with work. It's working together as a team in architecture too. We're all contributing to this bigger goal, but working hard and picking your teammates up.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I mean, you guys just really need to see Meggie live in action on the field, even just during practice. Like, I mean, just the passion and the fire that you bring to the field. I just love it, because there's a lot of days where personally I'll just be, just kind of go with the flow, and I'm just there, do whatever. And then Meggie comes like bulldozing through the fence, and she's like, "Let's go, jalapeno!" Like, Meggie loves Spanish music, by the way. If you need to ever hype up Meggie Meidlinger, just play any Spanish music, specifically Gasolina or Jalapeno.
Please.
That girl, hey, she'll get locked in like that.
Not claiming I have good dance moves, but I will dance.
Oh no, she has. Wait, you want to knock out the signature dance move together, Maggie? I mean, I feel like we have to do it.
Right?
Double? You want to do double?
Double
All
time.
Right, 3, 2, 1, go. It goes with every song, guys. Every song. It goes
with every song, and it's the dance that's traveled around the world.
Literally. And I'm glad you just mentioned that. Speaking of traveling around the world, I want to talk a little bit about Uganda. For you guys that don't know, we traveled to Uganda. This is actually something that Meggie pretty much started with a nonprofit in Uganda. And I'm going to let you speak about it, Meggie, because you know the ins and outs of everything about it. But yeah, we traveled to Uganda to basically expand the game of women's baseball. So let's talk about Uganda for a second, because it was a moment and a trip that absolutely changed my life and my perspective on life. So yeah, let's talk about Uganda real quick, Maggie.
Man, what's not to say about Uganda? Uganda is, oh gosh, so near and dear to my heart. And
I know it is.
All of our friends there, I mean, they're like family. So I lived in Uganda for several years after college. That was kind of in my time of not sure if I was still continuing in my baseball career. I moved over there for missions. As an architect, I was doing architectural missions. So we were designing for different organizations that needed hospitals, schools, churches designed and built. And in my time over there, how can you not take 2 baseball gloves and a few baseballs to continue playing catch, right?
Gotta have it no matter where.
You gotta always travel. You never know when you need to play a game of catch.
Yep.
And in a country that is predominantly soccer, I mean, baseball equipment, bats, gloves, balls, cleats, all of that is expensive. Finding a mound and bases to find an empty couch, just play pick. So one of the kids I was working with over there wanted to learn how to play catch. Taught him pitching, taught him baseball. Figured, hey, is there a baseball league over here that he could? Sure enough, on Facebook, I did find an organization that had baseball and softball. And so on one of my return trips, Richard and I went over there. I connected with Jimmy. And you know what story transcends no matter what country that you go to? Richard and I show up to the field for their practice. First time ever, I'm meeting Jimmy and everyone else. All guys, and there's one female out there playing on the baseball field. And
it's just the one.
That's a story like you and I, we know and we can relate to.
Yeah.
So Jimmy and I struck up a friendship. He followed us with Team USA and just everything MLB was doing for women's baseball. So we were chatting, and it's like, how can we start baseball camps over in Uganda? And so 2019 was the first time we went over there. We went to 5 different regions to do girls baseball clinics, had several hundred kids show out at all 5 events. And at the end of it, Jimmy comes racing over, and he just has this vision for women's baseball in Uganda, which was just incredible, and his passion to start that. And as everyone knows, the following year was COVID. Schools were shut down for the longest out of any country. Schools were shut down the longest in Uganda. And so you just think about the impact of so many young kids.
Across the world, like Uganda had the longest shutdown.
Wow. Yes. So many young girls were having to go back to the villages and get married or just different circumstances. But if we think about all the opportunities baseball has given you and I, it's the same in any country. And what opportunities can sports and baseball provide? And so since 2019, Jimmy has created Baseball at Heart. It's a whole organization on women's baseball in Uganda. Like Ashton mentioned, she and I and Kelsey Whitmore and Anna Kimbrell went to Uganda. And after that trip, there are over 600 girls playing baseball in Uganda. A really cool thing, they had their first ever international tournament this past January, where they played South Africa, and they won 6 out of the 7. And so they're continuing to grow and expand and get the amount of growth that you've seen these girls take to baseball in the last 6 or 7 years is just incredible.
That is absolutely incredible. And the even bigger goal is to get them to have a national team, correct? So they can play women's baseball on the national stage, and hopefully eventually to get enough countries to qualify women's baseball to be into the Olympics. So that's kind of like the big story of, women's baseball in Uganda. And it's absolutely incredible that you basically started that just with like a game of catch on the field with some kid. And you're like, oh, let's look for a league. And then it was, again, another like snowball effect. Like it led one thing to another. And now you have 600 girls in Uganda playing baseball, which is one of the most beautiful stories I've ever seen and been a part of, honestly. Like I want to go back so bad.
We are definitely back here soon.
Good. Well, that's great to hear, Meggie. I could talk to you forever and ever, especially because we haven't talked in person in so long. You guys should hear the conversations me and Meggie can have at any given moment. But, we're getting close to our time here on the pod. I want to bring Mike back in. Mike, do you have any questions for Meggie now that you got to know her a little bit?
Yeah, but first I want to tell Meggie how darn inspiring you are. I feel like we could talk about baseball and, on the field and the WPBL, and that's all very important stuff. But when I hear you talk to Ashton, I'm hearing about a woman, what you did in Uganda, that's so inspiring, so amazing. But you've got, you're an architect.
She probably thinks it's like, oh, whatever. It's just like I'm building, a batting cage. But it's freaking so cool. I couldn't even fathom
I love getting into, you talk about batting cages, you know, or any baseball facility that we've done. I love getting into the weeds. And I know I've taken you around to so many of like, look at this.
Yes. Literally we'll go to a batting cage and Maggie's like, how tall do you think this cage is? Do you think it's like 10 feet, maybe 11 or 12? I'm like, Maggie, I have no idea.
Does it feel right? How do you feel it? Does it feel tight? Do you have enough?
Yeah.
So
It's
Maggie,
great.
I'm wondering if you ever take a moment and just step back and just feel proud of yourself, like what you're still such a young woman too, like the best is yet to come, but I hope you feel the pride.
Thank you. There's a lot to be grateful for, right? And I think lots of things in life can come our way, but honestly, if we all just take a step back, even each and every day, there's so many things to be grateful for each day, and there's always positives to find in all the circumstances that we're in.
Can I ask one baseball? Yeah, I didn't mean to talk over that loving moment right there. Holy smokes. I have one baseball question for Meggie, and I'm hoping Meggie could paint a picture for me of what kind of ball player is Ashton. I want you to like critique her.
Please do.
She is like pure spunk on the field. Like it just getting every time I'll paint it as a picture, as a pitcher on the mound. I love having Ashton in the field behind me, but like she's also the teammate you want to have in the dugout. And Mike, like I mentioned earlier, like as a pitcher, you can tune it like everything out, but like hers is the voice I want to hear. Like she's over at third. It's like, no, like she's got good stuff. And I can always hear her voice and pick it out of the roar of the crowd. And so Mike, she's a joy to play with on and off the field. I love seeing her spunk and aggressiveness, like defensively, but also offensively. And we just watch it. She's got a smile every single time she's on a baseball field. Like she's just having the best time, and it's contagious to be around.
Ditto, Maggie. Literally ditto. Oh, man. Well, our time has been great here, Maggie. I can't wait to get back on the field with you and back in the same area so we can just even start playing catch again.
Yes.
I'm 100% going to be having you back on this podcast. Hopefully, if you find time within your architectural, professional baseball coaching schedule.
I always have time for you, Ashton.
Good. I love to hear that. Well, Maggie, thank you so much for hopping on, and I hope you had fun.
I had a blast. It was great being on with you too. Thank you so much.
Sweet. I hope the people just fell in love a little bit more with Meggie Meidlinger today.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you in a little bit. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you enjoyed that special guest. That is one that is near and dear to my heart. We've spent so many quality moments on and off the field together. So I hope you guys get to know and love Meggie as much as I do. But for anything and everything WPBL, as always, you can follow us on WPBL_official across all platforms, Instagram, X, TikTok. And you can also go to womensprobaseball.com for anything and everything WPBL. You can also follow me, Ashton Lansdell, ASHTONLANSDELL, across all platforms at Ashton Lansdell. And we will see you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And go LA, go WPBL, and we love all of you. See ya.